Hello and welcome to today's Back Page Monday, where I'm pleased to say we're joined by Record Sport's David McCarthy. And David, it is a Monday, so let's start on the positive. And Andy Murray is this year's Sports Personality of the Year.
Yep.
It's not really going to rival his Wimbledon heroics, but a good accolade anyway.
Oh, absolutely, and I think that he got over half the total votes as well, which just shows you just how impressive his year has been. He's always been a guy who has had a bit of trouble convincing some people south of the border that he is the real deal, or that his personality isn't all it should be. However, I think he's certainly winning them over by what he's done in the last 6 to 8 months, and hopefully he'll just go from strength to strength now.
Yes, well done, Andy.
Yeah.
But back to the nitty-gritty of Scottish football,
Yep.
and today's Back Page is all about Ally McCoist handing over 1 million shares to his local Branch Rangers Supporters Club.
Yep.
He'd be as well voting against the current board himself, by the looks of things. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think Ali knows that those votes, or where those votes will go. I think it's a long-standing arrangement, or a promise that he'd made to his local supporters club in East Kilbride, where he's from, that he would hand over his votes to them. However, it's still a pretty brave decision because if the existing board do win the day on Thursday, then I'm sure that the guys on that won't be too happy that Ali has handed over his votes, to an organisation that would have used them or will use them to vote against them. So it was probably a tough decision for him, but he stayed true to his word, and fair play to him.
Yes. Well, I think we'll probably all be glad to see the back of this AGM on Thursday.
Yeah, although I don't think that'll be the end of it.
That was my question. Will that be the end of it?
I don't think so. I think Paul Murray has said that he will walk away, but I think it will depend on which personalities, if you want to call them that, remain on the board come Thursday morning after the AGM. If there are still certain guys on the board, Finance Director Brian Stockbridge, for example, who is basically regarded as toxic as far as the fans are concerned, then I think that the protests will continue, and I think that there will still be uncertainty for the foreseeable future. If Brian Stockbridge is removed from the board, it might make a difference. I think it's still up in the air, but I certainly don't think that come close of play on Thursday that will be the end of the Rangers saga.
Yeah. Well, we'll wait and see what that one goes. But across the city there's a storm brewing as well at Parkhead, and Neil Lennon looks like he's going to overhaul his squad over the next 6 months. Do you think that's a good thing to be doing at this stage? I think
it's kind of necessary if he wants to progress. I think some of the guys have kind of stalled in the last 5 or 6 months. They've not really progressed much further than or any further forward than we thought they would. Talking about guys like Samaras and Ledley, who are both out of contract at the end of the season, so they could go over nothing at the end of the season. If Neil Lennon thinks he can get in a few bob for them in January, then I think he'll certainly try and do that, and then that would free up both wages and probably transfer money for him to go and try and strengthen his squad.
Meanwhile, Virgil van Dijk has again come out and said they're targeting an unbeaten league campaign for the entire season. Is that doable?
I don't think it is doable. I think there are too many decent teams in the Premiership at the moment. I watched Dundee United for the second week in a row, and they were terrific again on Saturday. Aberdeen are going great as well, so it's possible. The thing is that Celtic will go into every game that they play as favourites to win that game, so it is possible, but I think it's fairly improbable that they'll go through the entire season without suffering a defeat or two.
Yeah. Just to finish on a positive then, we started in a positive, let's finish in one, and great to see Darren Fletcher coming back to the top team at Manchester United.
Absolutely brilliant. I can't state enough just how decent a guy he is. We deal with him back and forward, in the newspaper side, and he's a lovely fella. He's been through so much, and he's a really, really good player. I think he'll go back into the Manchester United team. I think he's what Moyes needs at this stage, and obviously we'd welcome him back into the Scotland team with open arms as well.
Hear, hear. Yeah. Okay, thanks again to David for joining us on today's Back Page Monday. Don't forget you can catch all these headlines and the latest breaking news at www.dailyrecord.co.uk. Thanks again for joining us.